Hey guys, what it is? It's your girl Cadillac. Just getting off of work. It is November the 8th, 2025. Girl. Oh girl, no it's not. I didn't change my set my clock back in the car. So it's actually still November the 7th, 11:29. So we almost at November the 8th. But guys, just got off of work. I'm on this channel today because I'm showing up. I'm trying to show up. I can't keep calling myself an artist if I do not make art. So yes, I'm an artist because I can draw. I can sketch anything that I see. I can paint in acrylic and oil. I'm excellent in Photoshop. I'm a graphic designer. I am a cosmetologist, hair artist. I am those things by name. But if you are not making art, I feel like and I'm a content creator, right? But if I am not making art, how can I call myself those things? And then also on the flip side, my little nephew, now you know kids are brutally honest. And he's like, "Why do you consider yourself a content creator?" And I'm like, because I upload videos to YouTube and TikTok. And he's like, "No, you can't call yourself that if you're not really making any money from it. You're just a person making videos." I'm like, wow. Way to hurt your little auntie hard. But many people do see it like that you are not really an artist unless you're one making the artwork. It's not like I can still be an artist off of pieces I did way back when, which I did. I feel like when I was in my busiest time in life, I was a single mother and I worked overnight, and I used to run out the door every single day with a box of paint and an easel under my arm. And I had 2 breaks and a lunch. And every single night I was working on some piece of artwork. My job changed. And now, and I'm getting older. Hold on. I'm getting older. And I feel like the older I'm getting, I used to be able to press the pedal to the metal. I call myself Cadillac, so I make a lot of analogies dealing with cars, right? My artist name is Cadillac. So I would push the pedal to the metal because it was difficult being a single mother, working overnight, working full time, still wanting to grow, not being stuck. So going to school, not having daycare, so actually keeping our daughter all day long, trying to go to school in the evening, and then working overnight, meaning no sleep whatsoever, doing my art on my breaks. Instead of like eating, I would scarf my food down and break out my easel, or if I was doing a hand painted t-shirt, I would break out the t-shirt. And I was getting art done. Even though I was doing it little by little, I was getting pieces done. And I felt more like I can consider myself an artist because I actually had the artwork to show that I'm an artist, right? But when I ended up working daytime, my daughter's now grown. I'm a grandmother of 2. So grandkids do keep me busy. But I'm noticing that I'm doing less and less art. When I get off of work, I'm so exhausted. And then when I get home, grandchildren want to get up on my lap. They want to talk to me. They want me to sit down and watch TV with them. And once I've done that, I'm almost going to bed. Like, for real, going to bed. So it's very little time to do my art. And many times there's now this mental block where I'm like, oh, I want to go home and paint, or I want to go home and draw. And it takes so much to even just set up my little easel thing and break out my paper and start drawing, that it keeps getting diverted. And it feels like it pulls so much energy from me to just start. Because I know that sometimes if I start a piece, sometimes, I say sometimes because most of my pieces I never finish. I just start and never finish, which I was just working on a sketch of a content creator named 1250 Podcast, right? I started probably over a month ago and still have not finished. And then I realized when someone asked me how's my art going, I'm like almost ashamed, because I'm like, wow, I've only done 3 pieces of art in this whole year, 2025. I've only done 3 pieces of art. And my 3rd piece is not even done. It's in the garage on the easel, still halfway done. And I'm like almost embarrassed now to call myself an artist, because an artist have art, right? Just like my nephew said, a content creator is getting paid to do content. You're a person uploading videos. So I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, can I truly call myself these things? But I remember back to when I was in cosmetology school, and we had some awesome teachers, and they were always saying before, the license is not what makes you that cosmetologist. You are a cosmetologist because that is what you are. You have that ability. Just like before I went and got the certification for cosmetology, I was so good at doing hair. I used to do all my friends, every girl around the high school hair in high school before I had my license, right? So I was already what you would call, even though you can't call yourself a cosmetologist till you have the license, but I was that already. And upon getting the license, though, that's when I ended up with carpal tunnel and had to quit. That's been my whole challenge in art. I always have to quit what I love and just do what I have to do to survive. Ugh, I so wish that I wish I could pay my rent and my bills and my credit cards off of creating. That has been my desire forever. But it doesn't pay. It doesn't pay. So I always have to keep a job. And I feel like a square peg being forced into a circle hole just doesn't work for me, but it's the only thing that pays anything. Yeah. So ended up having to quit cosmetology, and then guess what? Go back to a 9-to-5. It's like I'm joined at the hip, like stuck to a 9-to-5, right? To where I want to let the desire go. I want to just forget it. You're not really an artist. You thought you were. You're not. This is the frustrations I go through as an artist, right? Then I became a graphic designer. Graduated in 2020. Worst year I think you can graduate, because I graduated when industries weren't really open. I was disabled anyway from the carpal tunnel, so I was already told in school, just come to Jesus moment, you're not going to be able to be a graphic designer because the industry is too fast paced and you can't keep up. So I knew then I needed to be a freelance graphic designer and do my graphic design and art on my own time. And I'm still stuck to a job, but I would build my freelance business in between the margins of work. When I get off of work, when I'm dirt tired, I would work on building my business and networking and getting everything together. And I've gotten so stuck in the cycle of working. I look back and I'm like, wow, you're so unproductive in anything, in the way of art and graphic design, to almost like, how can you call yourself those things? Like, yes, you are those things on paper, just like you're a cosmetologist on paper. You have the certificate. You're a graphic designer because you have the degree in graphic design. But what you really are is a 9-to-5 worker. It's such a struggle. It is such a struggle. And it's gotten harder because now this is really the time where you need to work 2 and 3 jobs to survive, right? Or you need one really, 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 really good job, which content creation does do that for some people. And it would work so well if I could just do content. I could fuse it with my art and my purpose and everything. And then I'm disabled, so I wouldn't have to be trying to run to work and hurting. And it just would so work out. But it just doesn't. It doesn't take off. So kind of stuck in a job. Are there any other artists out there that are having a very hard time launching as an artist or as a creative? And because your creative ventures don't take hold, you're kind of stuck in that, like I said, a square peg in a round circle. You're stuck because you know that is not for you, but you just can't. You just can't. Like, does anybody else feel me, or maybe it is just only me? All right, guys. I will talk to you later. Maybe after having these talks, because it is very difficult to talk about these things to people who literally don't get it, don't understand. So maybe another artist or another creative will understand what I'm talking about. All right, guys. And maybe it'll just serve as a diary, because I know my other channel I've been on for 10 years, and it's so cool to be able to go back and see everything, your mindset, see how you looked, see everything, what was going on in your life 10 years ago. I literally can do that on my channels. So if it's nothing more than a diary, because that's what my other channel became, so this will be my art diary. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. It's your girl Cadillac.